welcome back to Switch to Linux. It is Friday and it is time for the news. And boy, is the news a doozy today. Wow. I gotta say that I was planning on titling it something else, something about, I don't know, Google can detect your crap and it doesn't care, whatever else, you'll get it. Let me get in there a little bit. But then I found this article which came out yesterday, and I kind of missed it initially, and someone else commented on it, and wow. So we're going to just kind of hit on it today, but this is big enough that we're going to do tinfoil hat time on this topic and other topics like it. And tomorrow we will have a special guest. We will have co-host joining us for the discussion. And we're going to kind of dive into that. So before we jump into the news, let's go over and let's go on over and have a look at our comments. Experimenting with some new comment feeding today. Hopefully this works out and doesn't crash and burn and die and whatever else. Libre Secure, we have to be good caretakers of the data we generate. And yes, the video was horrifying. If you did not get a chance to watch it, make sure you watch it sometime. Maverick, hello. Cool War Boy, hello there. Kyrie Holmes, greetings. And Joe, hello. Eden Bailey, Eden Joe, Eden Ma, Eden Pa. Mark Gates, how's it going there? Ladies and gentlemen, who are you talking about? We don't have ladies and gentlemen over here. But anyway, cheerio. Let's see, Q1 Fiend, greetings. The Big Bob is in the house. Greetings, Robert. How are you? All right, let's see. Oh boy, I lost my place. Everything you do, okay, let's see. It's pretty clear, a total public record on every citizen that can be viewed generations into the future. Yeah, because we know these never get rid of any of that. That's certainly an issue. Everything you do and say online is being tracked by companies to take full advantage. Yeah, but come on, man. Ubuntu is just collecting that data so that they can, gain some data and just user experience, better the product. Yeah. Cool War Boy, subscribe to my third channel. Well, thank you, man. I will try and have something up there soon. Let's see. Sad Error, hello there. Lemark, greetings. Making a game called Space Tux in Pygame. Once it's done, can't wait to package it for Debian. Very cool, very cool. So in short, the total absence of online privacy and user control. Oh, no, Mark, that video goes way beyond that. This is total control of the entire population. I mentioned this before. It's worth mentioning again. If you got a chance to listen to, it spans 4 volumes of the children's series, Adventures in Odyssey. Listen to the Novacom series. It spreads between volumes, what is it? 38 to 76. I think it's 35 to 38. And it's like 20 something episodes. You can actually buy one package that has just all the relevant episodes on the Novacom series. The evil company that is collecting all this stuff, and their master plan is to enslave the human race. It's pretty much happening. I mean, yeah. I'm actually in the middle of listening to that series right now as I'm cooking. It's kind of fun. Is the kitty hiding her data? Yes, the kitty is hiding her data. She uses Puppy Linux. Well, yeah. That's right. He's looking at me now. Okay. The KGB and Stasi don't have it easy. The other kitty's here. Hello, Blitz Leopard. How are you? How to get rid of your ISP spying on you? Using the Cloudflare is a step in the right direction. Of course, as more sites are using HTTPS, they can see what IP address and maybe domain we're looking at, but they can't see the data we're transmitting. So the fact the internet's going to HTTPS is a positive thing. Changing your DNS servers to either Cloudflare's or Google's, I don't think that makes a difference. But that will make a difference. And then, of course, VPNing can help, but it's certainly not the direction that I necessarily recommend. Because of that. Hello, Blitz Leopard, how are you? Because it's just kicking the can down. Now the VPN can see everything you do. So Google leads the way. Somehow we already knew this. They're not even hiding it because the public just eats us up. Well, the thing is, this video was an internal thing. It was not supposed to be out into the public eye. I'm hosted on GitHub right now, working on the artwork and stuff. Very cool. Greetings and salutations, Skybear. How's it going there? Welcome to the Ledger. No, it's welcome to the Borg. Do it right, take your time. Yep, there you go. Yeah, definitely do the project right. Of course, you can always make adjustments to it later down the road. You know, that's kind of part of the world too. Google is everywhere, even when you are even where you are able to see. I guess where you're not able to see, I guess. Kitson, greetings. Whoa, what's with the live chat? I adjusted it. I made some adjustments. Greetings, DistroTube. How are you? Mark Yates. We have Anna Rita, Tom. Where is Anna Rita? I don't know. Where is Anna Rita? Car Programmer. I see dash cams on cars everywhere. Footage will be gold to data miners. Yeah, unfortunately, most of those currently are not feeding in somewhere, but eventually they probably will very soon. Particularly when we have a lot of, you know, more and more cars are coming fully equipped with 5G or 4G, whatever internet. Cool, the images shows up as has spacey picture I made in GIMP. Very good, very cool. Mike, how's it going? Google News now requires JavaScript or it won't link to news items. Disable JavaScript by default. That's a good thing to do. They don't know me and you, Tom, but we may very well be hauled off. Yeah, I mean, pretty soon it'll be like, what is up with you guys? You're just crazy. They'll have a condition for us in the DSM. What's the next one? Is 5 out or is it 6 now? I don't know. Yeah, they'll haul us out. Well, they'll call us this old timers syndrome or something. I don't know. The Borg. You will be assimilated. Can't accept a donation. LOL. Guess a star or download counts. There you go. Be wise if I download many of the videos and store them in a private secure cloud and offline. Probably. It probably would be. Some point they'll remove controversial videos. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of keeping a good archive of stuff. I need to do more of my full archive streams. All right, we're going to go ahead and put my comment feed there, and then we'll kind of dive on over. So our topics, we have privacy, we have security, and we have business like usual. And we're going to start in on the privacy news. So we'll go ahead and hit the start recording button. We're going to rerun the intro and then dive in to look at 4 articles. Are we ready? Welcome back to Switch to Linux. It is Friday and we're going to talk about some news. This section is going to be the privacy-based news, and boy is it a doozy. A Google article was just released this week that Google was having an internal conversation about behavioral control, but don't worry. According to their PR, it's not part of any projects. But we're going to talk about that. So before we dive into all of these, or into that article, we're going to look at a few other articles first. So, of course, first, not to get too messed up with our, you know, Facebook controversy type stuff. I mean, come on, Facebook. They just want to collect as much data as possible. So now they're testing Cloud Save, you know, basically like a Dropbox in Facebook. So you can store all your stuff right up there, and hey, that's great, man. That's so awesome. Facebook is giving us the abilities to do, you know, save all of our files and take care of all of these little problems. So basically they're producing their system and in a way that you can store your extra files. There's also places where you can store like favorite news links, things like this. I believe these are all on the mobile portion, but I'm not sure. But Facebook confirmed the features and provided screenshots, but didn't give any details when they'd be around. This was, of course, featured out in India because, of course, you know, Google just wants to grab as much data as they can. So let's go ahead and just start collecting as much as possible. So in this case, now it's more of our files. And, you know, they're probably going to be just like, oh, if, yeah, don't worry. Any files you upload, don't worry. We will scan through them in fine detail to make sure there's nothing offensive or dangerous in there. After all, we have to look to make sure you're not stashing your revenge porn collection on our servers. So we're going to look at all your stuff. But anyway, that's what Facebook is up to in India, starting out in India, and then it's going to be moving from there. So they'll be saving and archiving from the app's camera tab, also a place for individual documents, things like that. So Facebook, you're starting to get a little bit kind of crazy there. Of course, Facebook was made controversial because of the Cambridge Analytica stuff. So the Justice Department and FBI are investigated in Cambridge Analytica. But of course, if you were unaware, Cambridge Analytica closed down. They're like, oh, we claim bankruptcy, we closed down. Sold off the assets to the same rich guy who owned everything, and they restarted another company that does the exact same stuff with all the same data. They just have a different name. I don't remember what the name is, but anyway, they're looking into this. But here's the problem of how our current system works, is that the people in charge of the companies, they fought really hard to get the same constitutional rights we have, but they have none of the responsibilities. Because a corporation, particularly a closed and bankrupt one, cannot, these companies, they can't be held criminally liable. And so it allows the corporate directors to do whatever they want to do and then close up shop and reopen shop under a completely different name. This is what the scammers are doing. So in fact, if you recall, there was, I actually had to get rid of a phone number I've had for 20 years because all I got is at least a dozen or two scammer phone calls a day. I finally just got rid of it. And the sad thing is, it's the robocall, you want a vacation, or thank you for staying at Marriott, which I never have. It's, of course, a timeshare scam that operates just outside of the United States jurisdiction. They do all this kind of stuff. They filter things back in. And then, of course, you know, the FTC comes down. Of course, the FTC, the party responsible to make sure that all of the ISPs are not damaging you know, are not being wrong with this regulating the internet stuff. They run slower than frozen molasses. The FTC is a useless and crippled group in this country. So the FTC busts down on these guys 5 years later. And then what happens is they say, oh, well, we caught these guys. Congratulations. If you happen to be in this group of people who receive these robocalls, you can get in on this class action lawsuit. So I went ahead and double checked my phone number because, mind you, it is the exact scam. They had calls, they have the scripts, all this type of stuff. I get dozens and dozens and dozens. Guess what? I don't qualify. Why? Because the same company, and by the way, I documented this in one of my videos where I talk to these scammers and get information. Every 6 months, they change who they are. It produces a new veil for them to continue to do illegal and fraudulent things, and the FTC is so neutered, they can do nothing about it. So you investigate Cambridge Analytica all you want, Justice Department and FBI. It's a closed-down company. There's nothing you're going to do about it. They closed shop. They claimed bankruptcy. They sold off all their assets to the same stockholder who owned everything. They took all of the data, and they reopened up as somebody else, and there's nothing you can do about it. Welcome to our world. So anyway, you know, Justice Department, FBI, they're investigating. It's a dog and pony show. That's all it is. It's a dog and pony show. Of course, Britain's doing the same thing. Are they going to hold the dude that is mostly it's just this guy Robert Mercer? Are they going to hold this wealthy Republican donor Robert Mercer accountable? No, I bet they won't. But you know, that's that. And if you think that this just stinks, that's okay, but don't worry. Google is going to tell you how bad it stinks. Because Verily Life Sciences, which is an Alphabet company, Alphabet is the parent company that owns Google, they have submitted a new patent for a smart diaper that will automatically detect whether your baby has done a stinker. And it will basically, because of course we're all perpetually on our smartphones and we can't pay any attention to little baby down there. Oh, shut up, you little thing. I got games to play. So your phone will send you a text message that tells you your baby just did a number 2. So of course that means that Google now has the information about how frequently your baby goes to the bathroom. This is direct data, not indirect data like the Aristotle had. Ooh, we sense that you are running low in diapers. Would you like us to order you more diapers from Amazon? No, Aristotle, I don't think I want you to. Well, this is even worse, because Google knows before you know what came out of your baby. If you are such a bad parent that you need the excretion of your baby to come forth as a message on your smartphone, I just have no more hope for the human race. I just don't. But, you know, we have this nice little patented device, and it will spot the types of wetnesses, and it will, you know, carry you, you know, detectors for the detecting. I mean, what else does this do? Like, is this violate COPA? I mean, really? So they write in this, they have filed a patent application for a smart diaper carrying a sensor for detecting and differentiating between feces and urine. The diaper would also contain a transmitter capable of wirelessly communicating whether waste is present to a separate device, be it Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, or other means. Patent application was filed by Verily October 16th, published U.S. Patent and Trademark Office on April 19th. Has not yet been fully granted. The integrated waste sensors for diapers are already available and can take a form of color sensing strip, an alarm, or a wireless notification. The company wrote in its application, none of these, however, have the capacity to distinguish types of waste, and the approaches to do that differentiate are much less feasible. Quote, sensing devices that separately determine whether urine or feces is present in a diaper have been developed, but they are large, expensive, reusable sensors that attach to the exterior of the diaper, which is inconvenient and less functional for use by caregivers. The company wrote in an application. Accordingly, there is so much room for significant advancement in technology in order to lower the cost and hence the convenience and functionality to make them more affordable for a reliable option. All right. I have a problem with these mega churches where you go take your children there and they put a barcode on the back of the kid. Okay? I have a problem with that. Like, how much more do we need to treat our children like cattle? Oh, here's a barcode. Who's this crazy kid? I know who the crazy kid this one is. This is moving even worse. So now what? You want to put your baby in daycare and they require that you have to be using the smart diapers so that the caregiver can get the report. Oh, even better. You take your baby into the daycare and you have the little note on your phone that even though the baby's at the daycare, you get a note message on your phone indicating your baby has done a stinker. And when that occurs, I don't know where this is going. But this is a new level of privacy, man. This is a new level of privacy. And this was going to be my feature story until this showed up. Oh my. We're not going to actually play the video here. I'm going to talk in more detail about this on Tinfoil Hat Time this week. But let's walk through what this is, because, and this is, by the way, they're like, this is not part of anything we're doing, and I wonder how close is this to some of the experiments Facebook was doing. How can you emotionally direct? Remember, Facebook was doing things where they were emotionally directing people by algorithmically putting various people in different test groups and pushing certain types of content to measure the emotional state that it would lead on people. Which, by the way, why people in high levels of Facebook are not behind bars right now for violating the human subjects research laws in this country is so far beyond me. But let's walk it through what they're wanting to do here. So this is a video that was released by The Verge. This was meant to be an internal video only. This was not meant for the public to see. It is super high production quality. It is one of the scariest things I've ever seen. And it kind of makes me want to go live under a rock, get rid of all the internet connections and all this kind of stuff, and sit here like this in a fetal position for a while. Not that bad, really. But what they're trying to do, this is the selfish ledger. So they're talking about the ledger. So the ledger is all of the data. Now, they akin this to Pierre Baptiste's work that led to Darwin doing The Origin of the Species. In Pasteur's work, Pasteur, I think I have that incorrect. This is not Louis Pasteur. This is another person. And what he said is that I may have been the same. I don't know, I'll have to catch up on my ancient biologists. But anyway, the theory hypothesized was he basically hypothesized the concept for what we now know as DNA. But Google says, well, let's take the ledger, which is the amount of data, the information that we have, and take that information that we have and utilize this as this ledger that basically dictates how individual people work and run. All right. So we're going to read through this article here. It says, Google built a multi-billion-dollar business out of knowing everything about its users, including when your baby goes number 2. And now a video produced within Google obtained by The Verge offers some stunningly ambitious and unsettling work at what the company's envisioning. So here's basically in a nutshell what they want to do. As you're browsing the net, and by the way, this is something that I've warned people about. When you are using a service like Google or Yahoo or these information gathering groups for doing search results, they start feeding you not raw search results. They feed you search results based on what they determine you want to see. This concept that they did in this video takes it a step further. Not what you want to see, but they start giving you results, moving you in a direction they want you to move. That is the danger. They want you to move in this direction. Okay, so the video was made in late 2016 by Nick Foster, formerly head of Design X, formerly Google X, and a co-founder of the Near Future Laboratory. The video shared internally within Google imagines a future of total data collection where Google helps nudge users into alignment with their goals, custom prints personalized devices to collect more data, and even guides the behavior of entire populations to solve global problems like poverty and disease. Okay, Google, if you're listening, and all of you other Silicon Valley guys that want to solve the plights of first and third world countries, particularly around poverty, stop sitting on your billions of dollars while your employees are earning peanuts. You got to share. I know you think it's a noble thing. Give me all the money and I'll help figure out how to solve poverty. Why don't you pay your employees a living wage? There's how we can solve poverty. But anyway, they want to guide all of us. Use all of us like little pawns, little things plugged into the Borg or the Matrix. And guide us in a way to solve their problems. So The Verge reached out to them to ask for clarification, and they report this. We understand if this is disturbing. It is designed to be. This is a thought experiment by the design team from years ago that uses a technique known as speculative design to explore uncomfortable ideas and concepts in order to provoke discussion and debate. It's not related to any current or future products. Okay then, yeah. About that current or future projects, I don't know. There's some argument that could be made. But the mere fact they want to have a conversation about this is a frightening, frightening thing. This is a clip from the video. Basically, the ledger is a collection of data. And read this statement here. You may not be able to see it. It's small on the screen. It says, all the data collected by your devices, the so-called ledger, is presented as a bundle of information that can be passed on to other users for the betterment of society. All this coming from a company that will not hire white men anymore because diversity. Excluding someone because of their race. That's called racism, people, by the way. Titled The Selfish Ledger, the 9-minute film starts off with a history of Lamarckian epigenetics, which are broadly concerned with passing on of traits acquired during organisms' lifetime. Narrating the video, Foster acknowledges that the theory may have been discredited when it comes to genetics, but says it provides a useful metaphor for user data. The title is a homage to Richard Dawkins' 1976 book, The Selfish Gene. The way we use our phones creates a, quote, constantly evolving representation of who we are, end quote, which Foster terms a ledger, positioning that these data profiles could be built up, used to modify behaviors and transferred from one user to another. Quote, user-centered design principles have dominated the world of computing for many decades. But what if we looked at things a little differently? What if the ledger could be given a volition of purpose rather than simply acting as a historical reference? What if we focused on creating a richer ledger by introducing more sources of information? What if we thought of ourselves not as the owners of this information, but the custodians, the transient caretakers, the carriers? In other words, your data is not yours. Your data is theirs. That's nothing that is a new concept. The so-called ledger of our device use, the data on our actions, decisions, preferences, movements, and relationships, is something that could conceivably be passed on to other users, much as genetic information passes on through generations. Of course, this is not just nebulous information. This is direct information about us. How many transactions have you used? What did you actually buy with your credit card? Because you know that Google has 70% of all credit card transactions, whether or not you use it or not. And they work very hard to piece those together with their various users based on other behaviors, data, location information. They know you're at the store at the very point in time that this process occurred. They can link that to you. The so-called ledger of our device use, the data on our actions, decisions, preferences, movements, and relationships, is something that could conceivably be passed on to other users as much as genetic information is passed on through generations, Foster says. All right, now, here's where it kind of gets creepy. That's bad, but that's not the creepy part. This is where it gets crazy. Building on the ledger idea, the middle section of the video presents a conceptual resolutions by the Google system in which Google prompts users to select a life goal and then guides them towards it in every interaction they have with their phone. You ever watched the movie called The Game? This is like The Game. Everything they did was manipulating this man into doing what they wanted him to do for their end purpose. And he was an unwitting pawn. Or maybe if you didn't watch The Game, maybe you've watched The Truman Show. Same concept. The examples which would reflect Google's values as an organization include urging you to try a more environmentally friendly option when hailing an Uber or directing you to buy locally grown produce from Safeway. Oh, really? So they're going to direct me to buy products from Safeway instead of somewhere else. Well, that sounds like a money grab to me. And of course, the concept is premised on Google having access to a huge amount of user data and decisions. Privacy concerns or potential negative externalities are never mentioned in the video. What's privacy? The ledger's demand for even more data might be the most unnerving aspect of the presentation. He envisions a future where, quote, the notion of a goal-driven ledger becomes more palatable and suggestions may be converted not by the user, but by the ledger itself. In other words, the ledger is guiding you in your decisions. When this is carried out, it produces a habit-forming thing, and this shapes the individuals in society into the very direction they want you to go. Excuse me, I'm missing something for this. I'm just a little too scared. I gotta grab my hat. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about this in more detail in tinfoil hat time, but man, I need the hat right now. This is just getting creepy. This is where the Black Mirror undertones come to the fore with the ledger activity seeking to fill gaps in its knowledge and even selecting data harvesting products to buy that it thinks may appeal to the... Wait, what? The ledger actively seeking to fill gaps in its knowledge and even selecting data harvesting products to buy that it thinks may appeal to the user. The example given in the video is a bathroom scale because the ledger doesn't yet know how much the user weighs. And so the video then takes it a further turn toward the anxiety-producing sci-fi, imagining that the ledger may become so astute as to propose the 3D print its own designs. Welcome home, Dave. I built you a scale. Foster's vision of the ledger goes beyond a tool for self-improvement. The system would be able to plug gaps in its knowledge and refine its model of human behavior. Not just in your particular behavior or mine, but that of the entire human species. By thinking of user data as multi-generational, it becomes possible for emerging users to benefit from the preceding generation's behaviors and decisions. Foster imagines mining the database of human behavior for patterns, sequencing it like the human genome, and making increasingly accurate predictions about decisions and future behaviors. As cycles of collection and comparison extend, concludes Foster, it may be possible to develop a species-level understanding of complex issues such as depression, health, and poverty. Again, you want to understand poverty? Why don't you rich people get out of your giant mansions and preach a little bit of what you're preaching, or practice a little of what you're preaching, and solve the world's problems by stop hoarding your money? There's a thought. But of course, they have to have the money because they are the intellectual elite that will guide us in the direction we need to go. Granted, Foster's job is to lead Design X's Google's moonshot factory with inherently futuristic goals, and the ledger concept borders on science fiction, but it aligns almost perfectly with the attitudes expressed in Google's existing products. Google Photos already presumes to know what you'll consider life highlights, proposing entire albums on the basis of its AI interpretations. You see, I understand that this is just one step away from where we need to be, right? They are already like half a step from this. They already have algorithms telling us what we want. At what point in time do they toggle that one little button to give us what they want? That is the thing. That is the thing. We're going to go into more detail about this and related things on tomorrow's Tinfoil Hat Time. Come on back for that. With that being said, what do you guys think of this? This is the most terrifying thing I've seen in a while. Let me know what you think. Whew. Wow. All right, let's go back up here and find out. Well, there were a lot of comments on there, so welcome everyone who jumped on later. All right, Linux addiction, that may be a felony. Oh boy. Tom, can you give a review of a GNOME 3.28.2, best release of GNOME? I'm on it. Is Fedora running that? I'll have a look if I can. I'll look into it. I was on YouTube and started getting ads in Chinese. Yeah. That's exciting, isn't it? They know what you're studying in school. Close to finish. News today was cell phones sold location data to coupon company that leaked everyone's location. Yes, that's actually in my security list. I'm not sure why it wasn't in my privacy list, but it's in my security list, I think. I believe we are going to be talking about that. At least it was on my list. Is it still here? Yeah. Oh yeah. I have that under security. Mostly it came from Krebs. Let's see. I haven't got ads in Korean. I don't even speak Korean. Here's Facebook hides in corner. Greetings, Steve. How are you? Happy Friday to you, sir. I keep on getting ads telling me to download Facebook with electronic music. Oh boy. Facebook ads for me are getting really annoying. Hello everyone, how are you? Mr. Anderson, how are you? Good evening. The more I use Linux, the more I love it. I love Rhythmbox. Easier than iTunes. Yeah, I hate iTunes. I'm not a huge fan of Rhythmbox, but I like Rhythmbox because of the built-in podcasting, some internet radio stuff. There's a lot of cool things in Rhythmbox. Insert replacement here is better than insert replacement here. There you go. Greetings, Gail. How are you? Did I mention I speak Arch? It's not a real word. Okay, what's oculin? Read the wiki. Western world. Sorry, forgot to translate. Google now knows how your baby poops. Yep. Technology was a mistake. The world is a huge place. There are many places you can travel to. And though dogs sniffing, but it was weird. Wait, I thought dog sniffing butts was weird. Yep. Yep, indeed. Arch Linux is a test on how well you follow directions. There you go. I would fail, man. I want to dive in and try myself. Can we send them a package of smelly brownies? Scared of how they test these things. Google is thinking smart diaper for the baby boomers. They'll be retirement homes. We know the nursing staff are overworked and understaffed. Just packaging it in the baby cradle and you're good to go. Western world is not the whole. Officially time to switch my client to Linux. Yep. Smelly cat. I know what brand of cat food they feed you. There is actually a smart cat feeder. You put an RFID chip in your cat when the cat goes near the food. If the cat hasn't eaten yet today, it gives him food when it gives him just enough. 3 kids and I'm still surviving as a parent. No tech to help. Even baby crib cams freak me out. Yeah. Oh yeah, baby crib cams. You would be surprised how easy those are to hack. You have some crazy, strange dude over there talking to your baby. Ooh. Oh, Evan, congratulations for listening to Tom talk about baby poop. That's right. Machine is... Let's ask the crowd. Peppermint OS 9 versus Linux Mint. Ooh, I don't know. Given those, as much as I love Peppermint, I would probably still go with Linux Mint, honestly. But I don't know. I'll have to look at Peppermint 9, though. IoT diapers. We've really hit the bottom of the barrel. Yeah, that stinks. Oh! Bad jokes. Do I have to wash that pod from the baby? Oh. Yeah, Mint. Okay, Mint. Yeah, Peppermint will be a lot lighter if it's a smaller spec computer. Greetings, Spider Eyes. How are you? Google's behavioral mindset recommendation videos are close to being almost as good as you have been with the recent topics of your live streams and upload. Thanks for the shows. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm trying, and I'm getting more Patreon support, and so that allows me to spend a little bit less time doing web work and a little bit more time prepping shows, doing cool things like getting the comments to looking all fancy dancy. I'm not sure I like this final comment one, but it's a start. We don't lock up rich people, just the poor. Yeah, that's true. 9 isn't out yet. Yeah, I think 8. Yeah, I think 8 is out. I run Peppermint 7 still. These companies are full of psychopaths and sociopaths. Yeah, that's the problem, and it's reality. There's actually, if you want more information on that, there's several documentaries about how many psychopaths and sociopaths actually are CEOs of companies. It's insane how much. Google needs to be broken up a little bit. Yeah, but monopolies are allowed these days. Thought we were in the Matrix. Getting close. Yeah. See you, Blitz. Unless you're back by now. I don't know. World's biggest sigh. All this stuff is at best depressing. I think it's in our human DNA to want to progress and do better, to have more and more. I think companies know that, and they keep pushing their limits. That's the old definition of racism. Oh, what's the new definition of racism? I don't know. I had a lot of subscriptions in my feed about social justice type issues, data collection, blah, blah, blah. But too much negativity definitely swings my mood. Even just feeling full of that crap. Here you go. Here's a kitty to make you feel better.
Hello, Spider Eyes. Don't be depressed. Be happy. You can take control of your computer and be good.
And that's the thing, I don't know. The game changed my life as a child. Wow. Yeah. I was drugged and left for dead in Mexico. All I got is this crappy t-shirt, right? All we can do, honest to goodness, whether popular or not, is to get to know the Lord and have a personal relationship with your Creator. There's your peace of mind. Yeah, I agree. That's why this stuff really doesn't bother me. I do what I can to prevent as much data collection as possible, and then that's it. Just, that's it. But the reality is, if you want to avoid all this stuff, man, be a minimalist. Be a minimalist, because I have no desire to go out and get the latest stuff. I want to do pretty much anything I can. I've actually been experimenting, never mind, I won't go into that right now. But when you're a minimalist and you live a minimal lifestyle, you have no desire to even care about all these new fangled gizmos and gadgets and all that kind of stuff. I have to go back and watch Gremlins again. It kind of speaks to it. Gremlins was a political statement about all of the proliferation of gadgets. That's why Gizmo was named Gizmo. It is a political commentary on the gadgets and stuff in the world. I feel like we're at the end of the road. I don't think we have many years left. Yeah, I cannot imagine it getting any better. Unless God's just up there going, I'm just going to tarry a few more years. Just see what else they can possibly come. I'm out of ideas. Whoa, all right. Not a fear. It's fear, uncertainty, doubt, man. We're preaching FUD here. We're preaching FUD. Nowadays, I'm about to thank street burglars for being open about their jobs and stripping us of less needed objects at every attack. Greetings, Side Error. You finished the tux. All right. Subscribe to your channel, and now it's your turn. Thank you, Review Tech. Okay. Keegan, the Tennessean. No, Tom, it's ready. What's ready? Plenty of things I might want, but I shouldn't wouldn't have. I don't think you can force him. No, I'm pretty stinking hard to force, but I'll look at your channel for sure. I'll look at your channel. If it's worth subbing to, I'll sub to you. Norris, how's it going there? The Frost Ranger of the Frozen Realm. We need legislation against this kind of thing, or the companies like Facebook and Google will rule the world. Yeah, but unfortunately, they already have bought the politicians, so good luck with that. Tom Gimp 210, how do I convert selection to a layer? I don't know. I didn't look at how to select a selection to a layer. Let's see, in 2.8, in 2.8, I thought it was under the select menu. Let's see, I still have GIMP open over here. All right, so if I select, cancel. If I select something, you know what the best, at least on 2.8, the best thing to do on that is when you select your item, you want to copy what is selected and just paste it as a new layer. There's probably a better way to do it, but I mean, that'll get you through it now. So select whatever you have selected, just copy it, paste that as a new layer, keep the selection where it is, and delete off the old one if you don't want it on the old layer as well. There's probably a better way around that, and maybe somebody's already told you a better way, but that's off the top. Privacy, Google debuts creepy things. Does this make Microsoft less evil than Google? I don't know. Facebook's mind tech will soon create awakenings. Yeah. Like internet radio, you should try Gradio. Actually, I don't care for internet radio, but I know the Rhythm Box does it, so. Baby, I heard you like the Thomas the Train. Yeah. How about a tinfoil hat for the kitty? He doesn't like wearing tinfoil hats, but he has one. He's got one. All right. Smaller segments rise to the pieces, compete with each other. Yeah, we need more competition. That's the thing. But we're kind of in the opposite of that. Obey the kitty. Hear his word. Meow. I've been on Facebook for a while now, and I've been tempted. I feel like getting back on, but I've stayed off, and I'm happier. Yeah, don't do it, man. Don't go back. Just self-observation just makes you think of how this stuff could affect people if it was done. Yeah. Was GIMP 8.10 an app image? Oh, 2.10? I installed it with the Flatpak because I'm on Linux Mint and it always supports it. So just go to the GIMP's website and grab the install code. I think they might have an app image for it too. I don't know. You're just here for the kitty. The human is crazy. That is right. You got to be here for the kitty. This human's nutsoid. I'm telling you what. All right. Let's see, Heather again for my Ubuntu Mint machine. Hope there's a foreign VPN client to install. My work uses it. Oh wait, you're okay. Scott, on Ubuntu or Mint, to do a VPN. Let me just show you how to do that real quick. We're not going to go into every step, but you just want to come down to your network connections and inside your network connections, hit add down here and grab VPN. Usually you can just grab a VPN system, an open VPN port, or you can save a configuration. So that's all you do on any of the Ubuntu, Mint, all those types of things. Just using your network center, you just install it. You don't have to install an extra client. It's already built into the system. All right, we're going to go ahead and pause there. We're going to jump over to our next section, and our next section is on security. Just 3 articles here. Kitty, stay off my keyboard. All right. All right, so we're going to look at security stuff, and let's go ahead and re-roll the intro. And we'll have a quick look at security next. Welcome back to another Friday news clip from Switch to Linux. So today we're going to be looking at the security. Just pulled out a couple of articles on security, and we're going to be talking about best practice on email and a few other security articles. So let's go ahead and jump right on in with our first article of the day, and it's just like stealing candy from a baby. That's what a teenager said when he was arrested for hacking into a school system. Of course, how did this teenager, this brilliant hacker, hack into the school system? Well, you know, he actually changed 10 to 15 grades. He never changed his own grade. He just changed other people's grades. Some grades went up, probably his friends. Some grades went down. Well, it's better than shooting people. So with that being said, he was caught breaking into the system, and basically what he did is he created a phishing site. Oh, they didn't have a picture of it on this one. I saw some pictures of it, and it was great. Where's the... Let's look at this article. I thought I had the article with the pictures in it. No, I can't find it. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't even the right pictures. But basically what he did is he just went onto the school website and downloaded a quick copy, set up a simple phishing website, email it out to all the teachers in the school. And, you know, one of them was derpy enough to go, oh, I need to change my password. He collected their password. He used this employee's information to log into the system, got into the main IT portal, into the teacher's system, and got in there and started changing people's grades. Email is a scary thing, okay? You want to watch out for email. You want to watch out for phishing scams. And some of these look pretty good. And if you're not aware of what you're doing, and this is why being a minimalist and having minimal services is very cool, because these scammers assume, or at least they say, you know, most people in the world have a Facebook account, so they're going to send you phishing things about your Facebook account. Well, like, I don't have a Facebook account, so they send me stuff about Facebook account. I go, well, okay, I know that's fraudulent. I don't got one of them. I mean, for a while, I was receiving WhatsApp ones. Yeah, I don't have a WhatsApp account. I don't use WhatsApp. And so this is the thing. Be wary of any email. Now, of course, I reported, I think it was last week, on Microsoft's new system, basically saying, hey, we're just going to go ahead and make it easier for scammers to use email to steal your stuff, because they're integrating into Outlook the ability to, basically the ability to collect payments directly through email, just a little button there. And that's going to be so easy, of course. Oh, it's an Outlook account, though. The reality is this, though. I get a whole lot more spam from Gmail, Outlook, AOL, and Yahoo than I get from everything else combined. It's scammers get it. They get the information. So be careful if you get an email. In this case here, the student just did the same thing scammers do. Send out the thing. He probably sent out the email, I don't know, a couple hundred different teachers, and it just took one. That's all he needed. He just needed one. That's why scammers will buy the lists. They'll send out all these, you know, Nigerian print stuff. And the reality is they're going to get a lot of people that think that's the case. And I used to sit there and think that, I used to sit there and think that how could anybody possibly be taken in by this? I thought that. And the first time I was teaching Dave Ramsey Financial Peace course, we're in there, and a tactic some car dealers will use, and other marketers as well, but I've seen this more often in car dealers, is they'll send you something that looks like a handwritten note in the mail. It's like, oh, we want to trade in your car. So I'm teaching this FPU course, and we're on this part about car debts and car loans, and you know, some people have such a ridiculous car payment and whatever else, it's better to sell the car even at a loss and just get something small. Not the case with everybody, of course. But we had this couple, and for everything I could tell, they seemed like a sharp couple until they opened their mouth on this topic. They literally pulled this thing, and I got the exact same advertisement in my mail earlier that day, like earlier that week. They bring this in, and they literally thought it was a handwritten note from a car dealer offering to buy their car from them. Of course, they're only offering to buy the car in exchange for a bigger car with a bigger payment. That's the type of people they're looking for. But people are gullible. That's why I do this. That's why I do this type of stuff. To think before you click on a link in your email. Think. Everything that is an unsolicited piece of mail that comes to your house, their goal is to separate you from your money. This is why I have a general policy. I do not do business with people who cold called me. I don't. I don't do business with people who send me unsolicited mail. It drives me crazy. I don't want your crap. I got enough crap. I don't want your crap. This is 2018. We live in an internet-based world. If you want me to use your services, have a good website that I can easily navigate and put your services on there so when I need your service, I can find you. Simplifies my life a lot. But, you know, this kid just, you know, pushed out that information and specifically just, you know, he got into the IT network. He changed 10 to 15 grades. Some of those grades went up. Some of those grades went down. He's a 16-year-old kid. And he says when he's caught, it was like stealing candy from a baby. He said it only took 5 minutes to craft the phishing email, and school administrators only learned of the operation 2 weeks ago from an IT staffer found the message in a spam folder. Scary. Now on to cell phone news. This is from Krebs on Security. Now, I actually talked about this, I think it was last Saturday or last Sunday? I forget. But I talked about this because it was just a fascinating article. And I actually said, hey, I used my spare junker track phone that I was using for the Facebook experiment because I had that. And I pulled this information up and... Internet looking good? All right. My stream is going up and down a little bit, so I'm going to monitor that for a second. But anyway, what the thing did is it could tell me within half of a mile where the phone was. Now, of course, you had to verify this. You had to go through and verify it with a text message or a phone call. But according to Krebs on Security, you could load up that page, pull up the code, and bypass all that stuff. And literally what they found is that companies were able to batch automate that and pretty much gain access to any phone number's location, period. Such a huge security hole. So, of course, Location Smart, US-based company that acts as an aggregator of real-time data about the precise location of mobile phone devices, has been leaking this information to anyone via a buggy component of its website without the need of any password or any other form of authentication. The company looked at the vulnerable service offline early this afternoon after being contacted by Krebs on Security, which verified it could be used to reveal the location of any AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, or Verizon phone in the United States with an accuracy of a few hundred yards. And by the way, all of those other little prepaid phones that you might use, they are all on their networks. All right, so May 10th, New York Times broke the news about Securus Technologies, which is the police department. Basically, these guys were caught because people were abusing the privilege and utilizing the system to pretty much just buy batch process purchase data without really any verification. They're supposed to have like a warrant or something to use it. They weren't caring. Just give us the money and that's all good. So, apparently a hacker broke into the servers of Securus and stolen 2,800 usernames and email addresses, phone numbers, hash passwords of Securus users. So, Securus was not very secure, apparently. Most of the stolen credentials reportedly belong to law enforcement officers across the country. Yay! Everything from 2011 up to present year, law enforcement officers. I really hope that these people are using multiple passwords. It's all we need. Some hacker portraying as a law enforcement person with access to law enforcement databases. Oh, boy. So what's the final verdict of all this kind of stuff? Nothing we can do about it. It might still exist. It might not. Of course, the politicians will probably put an end to this, at least where their phone numbers are concerned. You know, realize that the thing that caused it... Did you know it's illegal to go to a... Like, I'm not sure rental stores still exist. If you're in Alaska, you might sell a Blockbuster or something. But you realize it's illegal to go to a rental store and get somebody's rental history without a warrant. Likewise, a library card. It is illegal to get the information about what books somebody checks out of the library. The reason why is it caused embarrassment for political figures. So anytime a political figure's stuff is potentially exposed, they put an end to that. But for the rest of us little peasants and peons, it doesn't matter. There's no reason you should have concern anyone knowing what your phone number is. You see, here's the problem. Now, if I'm using my phone number to two-factor authentication and you want to know how to swat this sad little YouTuber, if you have my phone number, you can detect my location pretty accurately. You could track it when I go out to a store and to determine who's me, figure out what kind of car I drive, and then you have a fairly small area of places to figure out where the car is. And from that, you can figure out where the house is. That is, by the way, why all the phone numbers I use are external relayed. Extra privacy, man. I can use the phone numbers without people actually knowing my real phone numbers. Carriers respond. Of course, they're like, yeah, that happens. Nothing we can do about it. We take privacy and security of our customer data very seriously. We have addressed the issues we were identified to make sure these issues were resolved. And our private customers' information is protected. We continue to investigate this. It'd be interesting to see if it's still online or not. I imagine it's probably not at this point. But that's kind of, that's the danger with all this type of stuff. Why do we keep on having these connected devices? This is getting creepy. Getting creepy indeed. Just about as creepy as that Ronald McDonald right over there. Is he pointing a gun? Dude, that Ronald McDonald on the screen right there, he's pointing a gun. Look at that. Look at that Ronald McDonald over there. Wowzers. Jeez. Of course, let's talk just a moment about e-fail. I don't know all of the ins and outs of all this kind of stuff. Basically, what happens is there are a few different methods people were using to encrypt emails, and this happens to be two of these major highly used protocols happen to be extremely insecure. So it's recommended if you're using these options, get them off of your system. Now, here's the downside and why I wanted to call this best practices email, best practices email, is because there's something that changed in how we think about emails and messages since this digital age, within about 10 years ago when Hotmail and now Outlook were becoming highly available, when Gmail launched and Yahoo and AOL, and you had all of these emails all wanting you to use some web-based platform in order to do stuff. And what happens is we've gotten extremely lazy with our emails. We keep our emails forever. We never clean our boxes out. Everything stays wherever we have it. We respond to things we respond to, but very oftentimes, if you look at your email, the average person's entire email system is utterly a mess. And that's an issue. That's a big issue. And so with that big issue, what I want to say is, even if you're using services like Gmail or Outlook or Yahoo or all of these other systems, you can still get online with like Thunderbird, download your messages you want to save, put them in your regular offline backups, and then delete them from the service. Because the weaknesses in these email protocols, if these are not patched in your system, is even your old emails can be decrypted. But getting them off of your server and storing the emails you need to save in a safe location in offline storage prevents that. Yes, it does. So if you happen to be using any of these types of protocols, I'm not sure if all the patches are out yet. I didn't follow this very closely because honestly, I don't do anything over email that I would consider private enough to want to encrypt everything. So I'm not caring. But if you're a journalist, if you're an activist, you know, my days of that kind of stuff is over. So I don't bother with this anymore. But this is the thing, is that you need to make sure that you are doing everything. So they do have mitigation, short-term, no decryption in email client. Best way to prevent e-fail attacks is to only decrypt the emails in a separate application outside the email client. So you get the files, you move them to a separate application, you decrypt them over there. Short-term disable HTML rendering. The attack utilized the HTML email, and so if you disable that, you can help mitigate some of that. Medium term is patching. Some vendors will publish patches that either fix the vulnerability or make it harder to exploit. And the long term is to update the applications, updating the standards. But the standards need updated, and this is going to take some time. So chances are we don't have anything a major way. So you wanna if you're using these protocols, make sure you put up a separate location, a second application, maybe even on a separate device to decrypt the emails. That's kind of what you're wanting to do. And encourage you to read all the papers, read through all the stuff in detail if this applies to you. So let me know what you think about that. All right. More comments. So, I need to sort out a job, and I'm even wary of giving info to agencies right now in case they give it all out. Yeah. A friend of mine had submitted information to agencies, and he found that scammers got his information very quickly and easily. In fact, I'm wondering if Craigslist right now, I'm wondering if Craigslist is even viable for anything. I put up several things on Craigslist. I used to buy and sell things on Craigslist a fair amount. The only things I'm getting now is just pure scam on Craigslist. So, kind of interesting, kind of scary. Kitty doesn't need a tinfoil hat. He telepathically blocks the channels. Yeah, this guy here is actually an alien. So he's my alien handler because I'm a reptilian alien. This guy's actually my handler. He just takes the form of a kitty so that you know, his regular form will be considered hideous by us. So he goes by Kitty. Everyone likes the kitty. That's right. He's looking at me like, why are you telling your secrets? Sorry, Kitty. I needed to, man. I needed to. Everyone always says to join LinkedIn, but I really don't want to. But yeah, no, as soon as I heard the press release that Microsoft was buying LinkedIn, that's when I deleted mine. Greetings, Scott. How are you? Eric, greetings. Apple seems to be the latest evil. Too bad. They make so many dumb choices. Otherwise, I'd totally get their devices. Yeah, that's the thing is for a while, their devices had good quality control, good product build, things worked. It was great. But, yeah, not anymore. Phishing has become a huge issue now. We have to put in place a human firewall, best practices. Yep. Outlook equals look out for your privacy. Outlook for your privacy too. Yes. Set email to display in plain text. It's easier to spot phishing emails. Yes, indeed. That is a good thing to do. I've used Colab now for over a year. Very pleased with it. Only for my business. LOL. The OBS actually crashed. First time I've ever actually had a crash on OBS. That's kind of funny. Just give me a second here. I got to reset a couple filters on my system. Whoa! I got to reset a bunch of stuff on my system. There we are. We're back. Now I'm older, my new dream car is brand new, a Toyota Corolla. Awesome gas mileage, lifelong dependency. If Google knows so much about everyone, we should all start receiving borge implants in the mail soon. They're right here. In fact, UK is working on a law. Anybody from UK watching? I heard UK is working on a law that basically saying everyone must start carrying their smartphone. Can anyone in the UK verify that for me? Protocol isn't insecure. The automatic decryption extension on emails running HTML client shows plain text be recovered. PGP encrypted info is sent to you inside on the open HTML image tag when the server is queried for the picture. Oh, okay. 7-Eleven picked something up. All right, I guess TOS is on, so we have one more section to wrap up. And then we'll all go and raid TOS. Daryl, greetings. Hiller should have followed that email protocol. All right. All right, our next topic, we're going to be doing some business stuff. I don't even know what I want to title this one yet. Okay, I think I got an idea. All right. Okay. There we are. We're going to be talking about shaming the drug peddlers. Last topic. Stand by. Welcome back to another news section on Friday Night Live with Switch to Linux. Today we're going to be talking about shaming the drug peddlers. We have a few other news in the business section as well, so we're going to go ahead and dive right on in. All right, so first, Lenovo Z5 has an all-screen phone with no notch and no bezels. So here's this phone. What do you guys think of this? Do you like the idea of this no bezel-less phone? Like, okay, I got this phone that you know, I mean, it's not super bezel-y. I mean, it's got a little bezel up here, a little bezel down here. Front-facing speakers, which is awesome for when you're watching something. You know, I have, you know, good stuff. There's even a headphone jack. This is a Nexus 5X. Like, a little bit of bezel's okay, guys. Like, bezel's just fine. What in the world happened that everyone's going like, bezel-less, bezel-less, bezel? At least it's not bezel-less with a notch. I don't know. But do we really need full screen phones? And of course, the article's down here talking about, oh, there, you know, where do you put the front-facing camera? Front-facing camera? Where do you put the speaker? Where do you put the speaker? You know? I think this is stupid. I think everyone's still trying to copy Apple, not realizing that Apple is really no longer an innovative company. Okay? They've gotten stupid. Let's stop duplicating Apple now. Okay? They have become morons. And anyone following them is like a lemming going off a cliff. And so, yeah, like, I might switch back to dumb phones for the mere purpose that I want useful things like headphone jacks and a bezel with speakers and microphones in the thing and no Face ID or forced fingerprinting stuff. Anyway. Topic story for the night. We have a few more, but topic story tonight. FDA has named the names of the pharmaceutical companies that are blocking cheaper generics. So, you know, here's this commissioner. This is Commissioner Scott Golub. He's like, I'm serious about this. So what's he going to do to stop all these drug companies from blocking generics? The website of shame. Shame on you. Shame, 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 shame. The world now knows your name. drug companies are like, shame me all you want. Excuse me, I got to go to the bank again. Got to deposit another $1 million. So basically what this article is about is the FDA has been saying, oh, there's these drug companies that are blocking name brand drug manufacturers from allowing generics to hit the market. And of course, this is driving up drug prices and all this kind of stuff. And, oh, this is so horrible and all this. So what are they doing? This is the FDA. You'd figure that somebody up in government could possibly do something constructive about this type of stuff. But instead, what are they doing? Shame, shame, shame. Shame, shame, shame. We're going to publish your name on a website. And that's kind of what their tactic is. Now, of course, he says here, he says, I don't think this is publicly shaming, he says. I think this is providing transparency in situations where we can see certain obstacles to timely generic entry. Was that written by a lawyer? I have no idea. I just read it and I have no idea what it is. Let me read that again. I think this is providing transparency in situations where we see certain obstacles to timely generic entry. I've told this joke again. It's worth telling here. There was this guy, and he was learning to fly a helicopter, and he's they're in Seattle. They're flying around Seattle. It's a particularly foggy night, and the trainer's in there, the student pilot's in there. They're flying a helicopter around the city, and all of a sudden, all of the lights go out. And all the lights in the cockpit go out. All the instruments go out. There's flying there, but they're pretty much flying blind. And the kid's like, I don't even know what to do. So the pilot gets really close to a building, and he sees there's a bunch of people in there, and they're having like a board meeting. So they pen up a sign, and they hold it up, and it says, "Where am I?" And the people scramble. They grab a big poster board, and they hold up a sign. It says, "You are in a helicopter." And so they are on the ground safely in 15 minutes. So they're walking back into the terminal of the airport there, and the co-pilot turns to the pilot, and he says, how in the world did you know where we were from that poster board? He goes, oh, well, I knew that had to be the Microsoft building. Only computer technicians would give us information that's completely accurate and totally useless. Okay, that's what I feel about this statement here. Okay, this might be very accurate and totally useless. You are a government agency with the power of whipping drug companies into line. And what do you want to do? We're going to publish your name on a website so we know. As if we don't know who they are already. Okay, Lipitor has blocked generic forms of Lipitor. We know who that is. This is pretty much a nonsense. Now, of course, he says this isn't shaming, but he does talk in last year at this time, 1 year ago, almost to the day, 1 year ago, he says he's happy to work on a shaming initiative. Comment response to Representative David Young in Iowa, who noted that there is power in shaming. The sunlight is the best disinfectant to put people in the place and get better behavior. So, of course, this website is now listed. You can go over to the FDA website, and the FDA website has actually come up here. And what they have done on this is they're talking about the process of generic drugs, how they're blocked, and they give us the name of the companies and the products. This is their list of shame. I think we can probably manage to do better than this, America. These are companies that are doing damaging things to the pockets of our citizenry. You know, these are the same people that were having a conversation with Goldman Sachs a few weeks ago, and the conversation said, we need to stop creating things that cure diseases. We're losing too much revenue. I did a whole video on that. You can check it out. Well, anyway, if you happen to be an Amazon Prime customer, now you can get extra percentage discounts at Whole Foods. I'm not sure I'd want to shop at Whole Foods either way, because the amount of recalls that come out of Whole Foods, like Salmonella and other recalls coming out of Whole Foods, it's shocking how many there are. Of course, I didn't read this article. I just included it because we had our wonderful ground beef shaped into the form of an Amazon Prime logo, and that's just That's frightening. It's very frightening. But anyway, if you happen to be an Amazon Prime customer, it's their way of trying to convince more people to buy Amazon Prime, even though they jacked up the price by 20%. Of course, you know, honestly, I mean, in all fairness, if you use Amazon Prime for your streaming and you are a regular Whole Foods customer, it's very, I mean, 1 or 2 trips to Whole Foods, if you're saving 10% on everything, could very well pay for that Prime membership. It may be a good deal. I got no desire. I'll tell you. I don't think that this is specifically a bad thing at all. It's just a matter of, I'm not a huge fan of all these streaming services. I think they collect way too much data, and that's worthy of consideration. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. Of course, here's their actual press release. It's 10%. Okay, so there's a variety of different Prime deals that will be prominently featured in the stores, but it's also 10% off of a lot of other things. Eligible Prime members also receive 5% back on Whole Foods Market purchase when when using the Amazon credit card. Guys, don't get an Amazon credit card. Don't do it. Don't do it. Of course, Tesla's back in the news again for more autopilot fails. Okay, hey Tesla, I have a tip for you. Change the name. Okay, autopilot is in planes and it flies the planes, but autopilot doesn't drive a car. Okay, guys, autopilot doesn't drive a car. It doesn't, not in the slightest. And that's kind of the problem, is that they are using this thing called autopilot that's, some people in reality think that it is driving the car. And the reality of the matter is that it's not. Of course, what did this do? It's that pesky little bug that came up that, oh, something's in the road. Let's speed up. That's what the thing did. It sped up instead of slowing down, ramming 60 miles an hour into the back of a fire truck. You know, the same thing happened a couple months ago. There's something about fire trucks. I wonder if the fire truck had those yellow and black bars on the side, because the Tesla cars on autopilot love ramming into those the yellow and black things in between medians and next to bridges. They love ramming into those, and they seem to love ramming into fire trucks too. Kind of freaky. I don't know. What do you guys think? That's going to bring us to the end of this. So what do you guys think about these articles? Let me know in the comments below. Oh boy. Kitty stole the OBS signal. Yeah, he did. Must carry a phone. I'm from the UK and haven't heard of this, but nothing would surprise me, to be honest. Let me do a quick look that up real quick. Maybe it wasn't UK. You know where I think I saw this? Watch the latest Level 1 news. I thought I saw it in there, but I didn't go back and verify the article. That's actually why I didn't bother including any of that. Yeah, that's okay. So you have no idea about it. So, okay. Interesting. Keep an eye out for that. Let me know if you hear anything, if that happens to be true or not. Or maybe it wasn't UK, maybe it was someone else. But I thought it was UK because they're into all this spying stuff. Everyone copying Apple's crap design. Surprised they didn't put a notch on that thing. Yeah. Anti-bezelism is just marketing hype. Odie, greetings. Just tuning in. All right. Well, we're unfortunately just wrapping up, but welcome. My brother still uses a flip phone. My brother doesn't have a cell phone. One-upping ya. Landline has no bezels. I don't know where my Nokia is. Never owned a smartphone. That's good. Yep, there's a Daily Mail article about the carrying of phones thing. I'm sure the criminals will just leave their phones at home anyway. That's just going to work. Okay, so Daily Mail article about it. All right. I refuse to even buy a phone without hardware navigation buttons. I'll be ignoring Android P because of lack of multitask button. Yeah, I am not a fan of the gesturing. They're duplicating Apple. I am not a fan of what they're trying to do. I don't use autonomous cars because they're going to get hacked. Yes, smartphones are only as smart as the user. This is true. All right, we're going to go ahead and do a last call for comments. And in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and feed the beast. Oh, you know what time it is, don't you, buddy? You know what time it is? You know what time it is? You're getting excited, aren't you? You're getting excited. I guess the comments are only half on the screen. Let's see. I'll just hide the comments for now. All right. Uh-oh, kitty. Uh-oh, kitty. Uh-oh, kitty. Oh, boy. Kitty, kitty. See if I can get the other one in here, too. Ooh, I got two cats. We have a double catter. We have a double catter. All right. Double catter. We got a double catter. Right here. Right here. Hey, it's right here. Whoa, double catter. Double catter. Here. Here. Are the finger looking good? Oh yeah, their finger looking good. Yeah. All right, let's see. Feel like the odd man out, but I still like my iPhone. All right, that's all right. I was just watching. Do you know what a tensor processing unit is going to be? Wait, do I know what a tensor processing unit is going to be epic? I have no idea. Bye, kitties. Bye, all. See ya. Waiting for Libra phone. It's a double catter. Repeat, we have a double catter. Double catter in the room. Follow up on my VPN question. Does Mint have built-in SSL VPN as well, or that require a client? What do you mean by SSL? Like, most of your VPNs are going to automatically go SSL, but I'd kind of, like, I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to in terms of that. So, VPNs generally, however the protocol is designed to work, it should work. Two kitties, too cute. Double the cute. Double the kitties. Double the kitties. Treat time. Yep. The other one is sometimes in the other end of the house and can't hear me calling for him, but lately she's been a little bit closer. So, all right. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I think, let me verify, but I think Total OS Today is online. And if you got some time, you should check his channel out. Total OS Today. Yes, Total OS Today is online right now, streaming live. So if you have some time, jump on over to his video, and I will go ahead and grab the link, copy link location, and I may jump on there if I have a moment, if I can. So you can jump on over there and join the conversation. So thanks for hanging out, guys. Once again, you know the ways you can help support the channel. Patreon.com/Tom M. Shop.switchtolinux.com and switchtolinux.com/support. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy switching to Linux.